Good morning. It's Wednesday, February 5th. We're looking at the S&P 500, just a little before 6 o'clock here on the West Coast. And here is what we have so far. So, last night, after the open, we're going to go back here and keep this all in perspective here. So we opened up right here in the Globex session. We traded up here to the tick of this KP at 3300 3/4, and then sold off a bit. Let's just pull this a little bit tighter here so we can see. So we sold off down to right here. That was 32.88 1/4. And I was actually with one of our traders when this was pulling back, and we were saying that 88 1/4 probably looked better than 8. We talked about 89 1/4, and we said that 88 1/4 probably looked better than 89 1/4 on this pullback. So we used that again over here, and then it was really off to the races. That was the low of the overnight session. And then let's make this, pull this out here again, and we basically went right through all of this. We stalled out a little bit up here in this 13 3/4 up to 19 1/4 area, pulled back a little bit right here, but I mean this was just really off to the races. Pulled back here, this held real nice right here before it pushed up higher, and we got this. So we got this push, and here's the KP at 27, and then the CPA at 31 1/4. Now, and these are so close together. We've got a KP and a CPA like that, so close together. It wants to go to the CPA, right? So up above here, it wants to go to the CPA. That's the next price it wants to go to. So what did we say about yesterday? We said up above that, where am I, 94 area right here. So we said 90 and then 94. So we probed that by a couple points, but then right over here in this area we held this 90 3/4 area over here. So if we put this in at 90, and then we said 94. So here, look what happens here. We said above 94 area wanted to go higher. And if you watched yesterday's review, one of the things that we pointed out was that in yesterday's review, we did not finish our upside target over here. We stalled out right here. And I said that the time wasn't up. We're sort of out of time for the day, but it doesn't mean we were done. And then we'd see what today's prices were. Well, where does it want to go? It wants to go to the CPA. So here's the next CPA up here at 13 3/4. So we hold up here at 94, and then it moves up here to the CPA, stalls out for 20 minutes or something, and then it just keeps going. Where does it want to go up above here? Well, it wants to go up to here to 31 1/4. That's the next CPA. So stalls out here for a minute, a little less buying right in here, push right to there. And then what do we have so far? Well, basically we haven't really had any real strong selling or anything. And so there's going to be some prices, and I'll have to go look at a few other charts, but there's going to be some prices in here that we're going to want to pay attention to between 27 and 30 and 13. You can kind of see this 16 1/4 area, how the markets use that. So we'll just kind of look at this, maybe this 21 1/4 area. So I'll go look at some other charts here in a minute, and we'll post those in the live trade signals. So let's talk this for a minute now. If we get rid of that, here we go. So if we break, we've used this 31 quarter. That's the high of the Globex session. We've got 35 up here. And the all-time high is 37.5. And I marked 36.75 because that we haven't on a 5-minute chart. Not that that's super significant, but sometimes on a probe uphill they'll use this price, and so we could probe up here and just see that price. We could see that 37.5 be the price they react to. I just want you to be aware of both of those. Now, above that we've got room to run. So if we get up above the CPA, that should be enough, but we've also got to pay attention to that just 2.5 points above that we have an all-time high. So above that, if we can break above that and hold, that should be enough to get us at least this 46.75 area, at least. But really, up above this CPA, we don't have a target up until in here at 62.75. So that would be a really big move given the big move that's already happened for today. And I mean, this thing would just be extremely strong if we were to break here and then break here as well. So if we break here and break out to the upside, that's possible. If that doesn't happen, we're going to get more selling coming in here. Now, what we can see is that we just sort of blew right through these prices, and one of the things we know about the market is it doesn't really like doing that. So it typically likes to come back here and test these prices. So very possible that from up here we get a pullback down into this area and test these prices. We've used this really already, so not looking for that to be a major factor here today, but that we'd pull back down into here. It certainly doesn't have to do that, but that's certainly one of the common things that we see this do is when it breaks a price like this, it'll come back down here. So if that doesn't happen from up here in this area, and it might not even get up to here, this might be it for right now, but if it doesn't happen from up in this area, then look for some pullback from this area. Now this is 46.75, and then we've got 62.75. So there's a long ways to go between here and here. So that makes this even more important. So if we break up above here and can hold up here, then we've got a lot of room to run up to here. So if that doesn't bring in the sellers, we got room to run up to here. Now if the sellers come in here, there's quite a bit of room for some pullback depending on what the market has used or not used. Typically they'd at least want to come back and test the all-time high and maybe even lower here, and we'll just see how those hold up. But if, worst case scenario, we can't hold here on a pullback, which that's a big pullback. If we can't hold here, then we should at least get back down into this area. So we told you that below here we got this 94.90 area. There's some other prices we can look for down here that are going to be a little bit kind of minor prices. And then below there we've got some more room that we can pull back at least down into this area, kind of one at a time down here. And then up above here we've got that whole scenario. So basically from here to here, this is an opportunity to buy down here. Below that we can start to look for shorting opportunities. There's opportunities for aggressive shorts up here, and then shorting up here, and then up here again. But between here and here we're buyers, and between here and here we're buyers. So if we break up above here, we're buyers for here. If we break up above here, we're buyers for here. So that's a little bit longer today than normal, but really want to break this down given all the different dynamics and everything going on here in the market. And hopefully that's helpful and clear for you. And we will see you in the live trade signals.